Well, we are back in the studio of Manx Radio TT, and we are also live on Facebook. And I tell you what, if you haven't seen it already, you need to go to the Manx Radio TT Facebook page, because these guys are walking by and they've just dropped off a couple of wigs for us to wear.
You really suit that. Honestly, it brings out the colour.
Thanks, Dom. He's telling me that it suits me, but unfortunately, I don't agree with you. I have to say, if you haven't got a clue what we're talking about, because of course this is on Radio TT, I'm just wondering maybe if you can have a look at Manx Radio's Facebook page, because you'll be able to see exactly what we are talking about. Now, we're
really
doing quite a serious interview now, but I can't take you seriously looking like that, Dominic Herbertson.
You couldn't take me serious before this interview, so never mind this hat. It's a bit fresh out in here, actually. The aircon's grand, so this has helped me out. Cheers, lads.
I'm just worried that the guy that was wearing this before has actually got nits. That's the one thing I'm worried about.
Aye, look clean, man.
There's a couple of comments that have come up onto Manx Radio TT's Facebook page that I just want to read out to you. James Hargreaves says, good luck to all the riders. Can't wait to get over on Saturday. I've raced with Dominic at Three Sisters. Good luck, buddy. Please pass this message on to James, and you are living the dream.
Oh, cheers, mate. Thank you very much. We'll get back there and we'll have another ding-dong. It'll be grand.
And also Chris North says, fast lad DH. Shout out to Dino Bike Moulton.
Dino Bike have been working with the team for a long time now, and he does an amazing job, and he's always been very supportive of that, which is grand. He'll be screaming about this hat, mind. He won't be very impressed with that, but no, they do a cracking job.
I am really trying to ignore the fact that we've got these crazy wigs on, and Jim Brown also says, go get him, Dom. Well, we haven't got a lot of time to talk, and I just want to make sure that, I'm going to have to take this off, I want to make sure that we cram everything into this that we can. So I just want to recap. You were talking before the break there about BSB, and what an amazing experience, and obviously to be able to qualify and compete at Alton Park. You mentioned it briefly. Just talk me through how that came about.
Ian Mackman got on the phone and said, look, you need the track time on the new bike, and it was a simple case of he dragged me out and kicking and screaming. I said I didn't want to go because I wouldn't qualify. It's a lot of money to get there, and it's a lot of money to compete there, and everything. I fell out my comfort zone. And Ian and Joanne Mackman, you know, they've been a racing couple for many years, married, and they've got little Ted as well. And you know, you need people like that in your life who just say, stop being a pansy, man up, and crack on with it. You know, if you don't try, you'll never know. And it's a case of I've got all winter to pay off this bill. You know what I mean? And obviously they own a shop, 2 Mac Motorcycles, based in Runcorn, and that support was just outstanding, because the Pirelli bill, they've taken that tyre bill. It was £1,000 for a tyre bill on one bike. And you think that is just, it's a lot of money to run a BSB. It's an outstanding amount of money. And if I had the finances or the infrastructure to keep doing BSBs, I would do it in a heartbeat. Because you look at Dean Harrison, 133 last night was just outstanding, and he's been doing brilliantly at superbike level at BSB, and it goes a little bit under the radar, and you're thinking he's competing and he's going faster and faster and faster, and look what he's achieved on the second night of practice, 133, and he's not even hairy about it. You know what I mean? He's just sitting, he might as well have had a tab, you know, smoking away.
Yeah, but he wasn't even trying.
Well, there we are, but to be fair, that's the nature of this place, is when you attack it, the time doesn't come. And the more you relax, the more, you know, it comes to you. And, you know, what he's saying there, you know, I heard there's been a few negative comments about it, but he probably wasn't. And the calmer you are, the time will come. And to be fair, it's going to be an outstanding race for this race week, because obviously Michael can pull the pin whenever he wants. And, you know, you've got Hickman, who's really tight on the tail. And throughout every TT, every year, it's getting faster and faster, and everyone, even the privateers like myself, we're just going faster, just keep up with everyone, and that's what makes this event awesome. It's
like you say, Dean Harrison, Peter Hickman, and that are getting more track time perhaps also through the years. So you have had that track time now at Alton Park, and is it something that you do see yourself really wanting to progress in, as you said, as long as you do get the funding?
Oh, without a doubt. You know, it's a case of like, you know, I'm a forester by trade, but I'm a racer by heart. You know what I mean? And this is what I want to do, but I've got to be realistic about it. I've got no money, but I haven't got any debt. You know what I mean? But I've got the support of Steve and Holly. I've got all my friends and family, and they give everything they can. But it's a case of, yeah, you need track time. You need track time. Like, these lads are professional motorcycle racers. I'm a professional nugget with a chainsaw, and I go racing me part-time. But the ambition for me is to keep racing. And that is actually my only fear in life, is having to stop racing. And like a lot of these people in the paddock, it's because of finances.
And if you want to understand the story of a privateer, we have got Dominic Herbertson with us here in the studio, because Dominic really does live this every day throughout the year, building up through to the TT and been competing, as we've just mentioned there, in BSB, but also just before here, a week ago at Northwest 200, which we spoke about before the break. Now let's just look forward to you then, obviously, getting out next week and racing. How has it been compared to last year? So 2017, you had a really good year. Let's just briefly recap on that.
Yeah, it was... I think it was a bit of a difficult year with the weather, and I think Gary Thompson and the whole TT team and every mark, they did an amazing job, because obviously it was a bit hitty-missy, but you know, we improved on what we did last year, and that is the only ambition for me, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be blunt, you know what I mean? Me getting in the top 5, and you know, I'd love to win it, you know, don't get me wrong, if all their fuel pumps pack in and I get on the podiums, give me the check now and I'll go home happy, don't get me wrong, but you know, I just need to keep improving. And this practice, obviously, we've had the ideal conditions, and I'm already getting to the pace. But at this point, I've got to wind my neck in considerably now, you know what I mean? Because I can get overconfident, and I don't want to be doing that. I just need to calm down. I know that's a big word for me, calming down, but it's just about slow as smooth and smooth as fast, and I just need to keep that momentum going.
You certainly do, and you are keeping the momentum going, because you know you have got the talent, you've got the inner self-belief, and that you can make it to the very top. But it is tough unless you are backed financially. I know that, we've talked about that on numerous occasions. But your goal to get to the 130-mile-an-hour club and podium, really, isn't it?
Oh, without a doubt, you know, if I put it this way, I'm telling you live on air, my mother will kick off, she hates tattoos, but if I do 130 mile an hour one day, I'm getting it tattooed on straight away. It's not too, like, she'll be kicking and screaming in the awning now, chucking pans. No, she's not like that, but...
What would the tattoo be of?
I don't know, just a little 130 scratched out on a crayon for all I care. It's like, that is the ambition, you know. The mad thing is, though, these lads at the top end, 133, 130... is an outstanding speed, but sadly it's almost old news, but still 130 is not hanging about round here. It really isn't, you know. Jamie Coward last year did a 129, Phil Crow 128, you know, the whole field around us is just going bang, let's just go, you know what I mean?
Even Chris Palmer's expressions, and you could hear through the commentary last night and through practice on Manx Radio TT's commentary, he is just he's amazed by the speeds that are happening just literally out on practice week.
Oh, it's phenomenal, and at the end of the day, it's still the same circuit, but you know, the Isle of Man government and the whole team, you know, the track's improving safety-wise, the track conditions are improving, but still, you've got to put the hammer down, you know, you've got to give it the full whiskey to give it the go, but the team here are doing an outstanding job to keep us all safe, and it's a case of, like, they keep improving, like the 30-second there to double left-hander, it's fantastic, but they filled in the gap with concrete, but guess what we're all using now? The bleeding concrete, you know what I mean? It's like, right, let's use each road, you know, give an inch, give a mile to a racer, and it's, no, the track's improving, and obviously Chris Palmer, he's a racing legend himself, you know, and if he's jumping up and down with joy, that's saying a lot.
He can't jump that far, but I'm not going to talk about that.
I've seen him on. He's got some flex, that man. If you're listening to this, I've seen him on. He can work, that lad. He can work.
So, I want to ask you, what is your favourite road race meeting?
TT. Now, don't get me wrong, I love them all. You know what I mean? I'm a road racer through and through, and it's a bit like to put one specific thing down. But to me, I've grown up here. You know, the TT is everything. You know what I mean? I love the Ulster, I love the Northwest, I love them all. But TT, we're here, we're now, the sun's out, can't wait to get going.
Classic TT or TT though?
Oh, Davies Motorsport won't be happy with that. You know, I've been very lucky for them to provide me some extremely top-notch machinery, you know, and we had a cracking meeting down at Ballown and had a right good dice with Alan Oversby, and you know, and I learned a lot from Alan there. But now, Joe, I'm just not going to answer that. I love both events. I'm going to bottle out of it. I love the pair of them, but both around the mountain course. And like I say, I would literally ride an inflatable push bike round here. You know, I love racing around here. You know what I mean? Give me anything and I'll race it. Love it.
And then another question that you may not answer, but I really want you to answer this. Who is your most respected rival?
All of them. Absolutely all of them. Now, you know, don't get me wrong, you get the local rivalries and stuff like that, but, you know, anyone who's punching around your weight, you know what I mean? You just get, you know, what amazes me about this place is you're out there and you just get up your bleeding way, then you come in and you're like, oh, hello, yes, sir, we'll crack a lap here, boy. Then you go back to your own, you can just pull out the timesheet, you go, you bleeding swine, how was he doing that? And, you know, it's great. It's absolutely great.
Because you also know all the cameras are on you, don't you, as well?
Well, that's it. You can't swear, smokes. Have fun, to be honest with you. But it's a case of like, no. yeah, we've all got rivalries. It's racing, it's competitive nature, isn't it? And if you don't have a rivalry, it's a bit like, well, you're just going out there and giggling yourself around, you know. But you
answered that so diplomatically.
I know. It's
pole position or fastest lap?
Now I'm rubbish off the start, so I'm going to have to go fastest lap.
And also, I've just noticed a few sidecar racing photos coming up on social media as well. So what's that about? What's happening there?
Oh, I've had this. Oh, I see. Michael Kirkup, right? He's literally a really fat Ed Sheeran. You know what I mean? First time I met him, now a lad called Neil Bell, he chucked him out at Croft and he literally ripped the bicep off him. The lad can ride a sidecar, mind, and he needs help. I'll tell you what, he wants to come do the TT one day. So if he's listening to this, I hope he is listening to this, but the lad needs support. He's just bought a lovely LCR, and I met him at Croft, and he said, first time I met him, and all I met off him was his eyebrows, these huge ginger draft excluding eyebrows. And he just went, he went, have you done this before? I said, once. He goes, well, hang on then. And the lad went off like the clapper's mind. He just went, boom, and I've been hooked since. Now, I would definitely do a sidecar passage around here one day. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, you know, it's a case of if someone offered up and someone was desperate, I would go for it. Now the team would be kicking and screaming. Now I'll have to have a word with Gary Thompson to see if he'll let me do it.
And I have to ask you before we head to some music, who would your favourite driver be then? If you could have it as a driver for anyone at the paddock, a sidecar driver, who would it be? Now
Nick Jukes, who isn't here, you know, I trust him. He was the first time I got in a sidecar with him, but you know, Nick's obviously got a young family. He's got a very successful business down in Malton there, and but Michael Kirkup, he's here. He wants to come here. He's very hungry, and I really would hop in with him. He's loose and fancy. Now, a good friend of mine, Alistair Bailey, said to me, you know, he says, Dominic, if you can't go fast, look dangerous. And I've very much lived by that, and that's Michael Kirkup to a T. It really is.
Well, who knows? We might see you out, as you say, doing a lap on the sidecar. But we want to wish you all the very best of luck. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio today.
No problem,
we could talk to you all afternoon, Dominic Herbertson. Thank you.
No problem, Joe. And I don't think anyone would want to listen to me much longer. The headaches will be kicking in. So
I think they would. Thanks for joining us. We're going to head to some music now.